Hello, grade 10s. Good morning. How are you today? My name is Kamala. I am a tutor and educator for mathematics and physical sciences grades 10 to 12. Today, I want us to go through mathematics. Today is the 10th of January 2023. We are starting your school tomorrow. Now, this is our video 1. Mathematics grade 10. You see, this is the person from the Department of Basic Education, and this is term 1. In term 1, we're going to look at algebraic expressions. That is for all these weeks here. It's going to be algebraic expressions, but they're going to be covered in this video. So sit down, watch it. At the end, try questions out. If you need help, you can come at Rostec College here or 92 Schoolman. Now, this is very important because in the exam, paper 1 algebra carries 30 marks. Hope we are together. Now, this algebra contains the following. It contains the following here. It contains what you see here. Now, by the end of these 2 videos, you must be able to understand that real numbers can be rational or irrational. Also, establish between which 2 integers a given simple sad lies. A given simple set lies, and then also round the real numbers to an appropriate degree of accuracy, also multiplication of a binomial by trinomial, and then factorization to include types taught in grade 8, for example trinomials, then grouping in pairs, sum and difference of 2 cubes, and then lastly you should be able to simplify, add, and subtract algebraic expressions using factorization with denominators of cubes limited to sum and difference of cubes. Okay, let us proceed. So this is a foundation video for grade 10 mathematics, which is going to be starting tomorrow. This is video 1. You can subscribe or come to our tuition center here on 92 Schoolman Rostec College, Polokwane, or you can call us on 0785 222 041. Okay, let us start like this. Now, because this is very important and we need to understand from the basics. Okay, so anybody, let's go. Now, to start with, we have the terminologies which you use in algebraic expressions. One of them is called the numerical coefficient. Numerical coefficient, what is that? That's the number in front of a variable. So any number in front of a variable is called the numerical coefficient, like 2, 3, -4, and so on. So what is a variable? A variable is an algebraic letter used to represent an unknowns. So we can use x, we can use y, we can use t, we can use p. Now all those letters representing unknowns are called variables. Okay, so in front of the variables we call them coefficient. Okay, what about a constant? A constant is a numerical term. It's a numerical term. Are we together? So numerical coefficient, they are the numbers in front of variables. What about variables? They are algebraic letters used to represent unknowns. What about a constant? It's called the numerical term. Are we together? Let me say something here before we proceed so that you understand this better. Take an example here. If I have something like this now, okay, if I say this is -3x squared plus 5, okay, so the -3 is called coefficient. That's what you see here, the numerical coefficient. Then the x is called the variable, and then the 5 is the constant numerical term. So now what you see here is called an algebraic expression. It's called what? Algebraic expression. So I think we're together. Because there is no equal sign, we cannot say it is algebraic equation. Are we together? Let us proceed, guys. So outside algebraic expression, now, an algebraic expression is a mathematical expression made up of one or more terms, as separated by addition or subtraction. I repeat, what's algebraic expression? It is a mathematical expression, okay, made up of one or more terms separated by addition or subtraction. Hope we are together. What about a polynomial? That is an algebraic expression where the exponents on the variables are natural numbers. Okay, so a polynomial is an algebraic expression where the exponents on the variables are natural numbers. Are we together? Okay, now we have different types of, we have got monomials. Now with the monomial, it can be 4 or 3, 2a squared bc. This is now one term. Now 1 mono, meaning it's a monomial, okay, and then 2 bi means 2, so 2 terms they form a binomial. So the binomial, like for example 6x plus 2y is called a binomial. And then if you have got 3 terms, then you have to call as what? A trinomial. Now tri means there are 3 terms. Now each term is separated by what? By a plus or a minus. Okay, meaning if it is multiplication or division, it's still the same term. So like in this case, as you can see, this minus, so this minus here, okay, and this plus here, they separate the terms. So it means I've got 1, 2, 3. There are 3 terms here. Are we together? So here there are 2 terms because of this plus here. Now this is 1 term because there's no plus or minus in between here. So this is 1 term called the monomial, then binomial, and then trinomial. Hope we are together. Let us proceed. What about a degree? What's a degree? Now the degree is the highest value of an exponent of a specific variable, okay, in an algebraic expression. I repeat, we are saying that a degree is the highest value of an exponent of a specific variable in an algebraic expression. We are going to take examples shortly. Okay, so the highest value of an expression of an exponent of a specific variable in an algebraic expression is called what's called a degree. For example, here you see this is 7x cubed minus 3xy plus 8x power 6 plus 4. It has got how many terms here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I want to talk about the degree here, so it has got the 6th degree in x and the 1st degree in y. So now if you look at x, this is x power 3, this is x power 1, this is x power 6. Now because the 6 is the highest, higher than 1 and 3, it means this expression has got a degree, a 6th degree in x. Okay, has got what? A 6th degree in x because of this 6 which you see here. That's now the degree of this expression in x. And then in y, it only has 1. It is 1st degree in y because, guys, you can see this is y to power 1. This is y to the power 1. Okay, so that's why it's a degree 1 in y and degree 6 in x. Let's go to like terms now. Now what are like terms? These are terms with the same variables, with the same exponents. The coefficients may be different. So if terms are going to be like, they must have the same variables. Okay, same variables. Are we together? And then what else? And then they must have the same exponents. Okay, same exponents. What can be different can be a coefficients. They might be different. For example, this is 6a squared b and negative a half a squared b. So you see a squared, b, b. The difference is in the coefficient, which is 6 here and negative a half here. So these are called what? Like terms, which means we can add them and also subtract them. Then unlike terms, these are terms where the variables are different. As you can see, now unlike terms is where what? Variables are different. Okay. Now, for example, we have got 2x squared and 3xy. These are different variables. This is x, this is x squared, this is xy, so they are different. And because the variables are different, then they're called what? Unlike terms. Now, unlike terms, we can either multiply them or divide them. We cannot add them or subtract them because they're not like terms. Okay, now simplifying algebraic expressions, we always follow the body mass rule, but can only add or subtract like terms and write answers with variables in alphabetical order and terms in descending order of powers. Okay, so if you want to simplify algebraic expressions, when we follow this body mass rule, we must note that it can only add or subtract like terms, and then write our answers with variables in alphabetical order, and then the terms in descending order of powers. Okay, so if we are simplifying and we're going to use body mass, we can only add or subtract like terms. Don't forget what are like terms. They have the same variables like we talked about, but they may have different coefficients. Okay, now check here. We say simplify the following. This is 6bca minus 7abc plus 4a squared bc minus 3cab plus bca squared. I repeat, what do I have here? I have 6bca minus 7abc plus 4a squared bc minus 3cab plus bca squared. Now I want to simplify this, so I must identify those terms which have the same variables. They are called like terms. Then I can add or subtract them. For example, this is bca, this is bca, now this is ABC. Now ABC is the same as BCA in mathematics, so it's the same thing. Now another one is, this is CAB. This one is also the same as ABC or BCA or ABC. It is the same thing. All these are the same. Now note here, now if I use blue color, now I can say that this is A squared BC, A squared BC. Now this one is also A squared CB. It is also like term because the variables they are the same. They are the same variables, right? The same variables. Okay. So now if you check here, these ones which are underlined in red, they are like terms, which means I can add them and subtract them during with the coefficients. So if it's gonna be here, it's gonna be 6bca, okay, then minus 7abc, and then minus 3cab. Now from here up to here, these are all like terms, which means I can deal with them. I can do what? I can deal with them by subtracting them, as they've got minus signs operations. Okay, so now 6 minus 7 minus 3 gives me negative what? Negative 4, because minus 7 minus 3, it gives me minus 10, and 6 minus 10 is going to be minus 4, so this is minus 4 ABC. Now you see we are arranging them in alphabetical order. Now if I come back here, this is one with blue now, 4a squared BC, then plus BC a squared. Now this, there is a 1 here, there is a 1 here, there is a 1 here, okay. So it's going to be 4 plus 1, which makes 5 now. Which makes what? 5. Which makes 5. That's why it is 5a squared BC. Hope we are together. So this is the simplified form of these expressions here. Are we together? Let us proceed. Now we have 6x minus 4x squared minus 8x plus x cubed minus x squared plus 7x minus 3x cubed. Okay, let us identify like terms first before we proceed. Now like terms here, if I use red, this is x. Anything else with x only? Let's check. Another x here. Okay, I'm looking at the same variables. Another x here, so mean that these are like terms. So 6x minus 8x gives us negative 2x, then negative 2x plus 7x gives us positive 5x. That's why our answer is positive 5x here. I repeat, 6x minus 8x, that's negative 2x. So negative 2x plus 7x gives me positive 5x. Okay, let's look at now x squared. I'm going to use blue now. X squared, we have got 1 here. X squared, that is negative 4x squared here. Another one is here. Okay, That's all. So negative 4x squared, this is mine, I'm gonna say negative 4x squared, then minus 1x squared gives me minus 5x squared. That's why minus is what? Minus 5x squared. I repeat, I said negative 4x squared minus 1x squared gives me negative 5x squared. Okay, I can now use green. Now with a cube, this is x cubed, another x cubed. Okay, if you check here, this is 1x cubed minus 3x cubed, which gives us negative 2x cubed. So that's our answer here. I repeat, 1x cubed minus 3x cubed gives me what? Negative 2x cubed. That's how I get my answer. Hope we are together, guys. If you're not together, pause the video and watch it again, or you may come at Rostec College for extra classes on 92 Schoolman. Okay, let us now see how to multiply a monomial by a binomial. Okay, now here we use what we call as the distributive law. Okay, distributive law. For example, we have 2a squared into 3a squared plus 4ab minus a cubed c. Now, this is when we say distributive law, we mean that we are going to distribute this one among all these terms in the brackets. In other words, we're going to multiply this 2a squared with all the terms in the what? With all the terms in the brackets. What I mean is this, that I'm going to multiply this one. Okay, I'm going to multiply the 2a squared times what? Times 3a squared. Okay, when I'm done, I multiply it now with what? I multiply now 2a squared with what? With 4ab. Okay, you see I'm distributing it. Then when I'm done with that, now I multiply again the 2a squared with what? With negative a cubed c. That's called the distribution. Okay, so what you see here is what I've put in brackets here for you. Now note that when I'm multiplying, I don't forget the operation or the sign behind the coefficients. Okay, so this is positive 2a squared, that's positive 2a squared. Now this 3a squared is positive, that's why I'm saying times positive 3a squared. Then now brackets 2a squared multiplied by what? By 4ab. That's what you see here now. Okay, that's what you see here now. The one in green, it gives us this one here. So it's going to be 2a squared multiplied by 3a squared. Then the one in blue, it means going to be this one here. It gives us 2a squared multiplied by what? By positive 4ab. Then the one in red, it shows us that you multiply the last, but it is a minus, ne? That's why we're going to say 2a squared multiplied by negative a cubed c. Hope we are together. Okay, then here, now 2 times 3 gives me 6. Then a squared multiplied by a squared gives me a to the power 4 because I just added the exponents. We're going to see it in our next video. Okay, and then 2a squared multiplied by 4ab, I'm going to say 2 times 4 is the 8. And then a squared multiplied by a gives me a power 3. Then b comes along with it as well. Then here 2 a squared times negative a squared a cubed c. Now a positive multiplied by negative gives us a minus, so I got minus here. Now this is a squared, this is times a power 3, which makes a power 5. So that's going to be negative 2 a to the power 5c. Okay, so now we rearrange from the highest power. It's going to be negative 2a power 5c, then plus 6 a power 4 plus 8 a cubed b. This is our final answer. Hope we are together. We've done it using distributive law, multiplying a monomial, that's one term, by a polynomial, many terms. Now sometimes we're going to be required to multiply a binomial by a binomial. Here we use what we call as the FOIL method. That means we start with the firsts, then the outers, then the inners, then the lasts. Okay, let's check it out. So this is a minus b multiplied by x plus y. I want to explain this FOIL method. Now we talk about the first, we mean multiply this first one times the first one. That means a multiplied by x, which gives us ax, okay, and then we go to what? Outers. Now outers means multiply this a multiplied by this last one here, which is the y. This is the outer one here, okay. That means a multiplied by y, which gives us a y, and then the inners, now doing this one here, now it's going to be now minus b multiplied by x, okay, and then the last meaning is going to be now minus b multiplied by y, okay. So if I simplify, I'm going to get a times x, I get ax. What about a times y? It's going to be ay. Minus b times x gives minus bx. What about here? I get minus by. So that's my answer. Using the FOIL method to multiply a binomial, that is 2 terms times other 2 terms, expressed together. Okay, another example. 2x plus y multiplied by 3x minus 4y. Again, I'm going to say 2x times 3x, which gives me what? Which gives me 6x squared. And I say 2x multiplied by negative 4y, which gives me negative 8xy, which that's what you see here. When I come now to the inners, that is y times 3x to give me 3xy, which you see here. And then positive y, that's outers now, multiplied by negative 4y gives me negative 4y squared. Then when I get here, I add like terms. Now this one here, you see it is xy here, right? This is xy, another xy. So these are like terms. I'm going to say negative 8 plus 3 gives me negative 5xy. So my answer becomes 6x squared minus 5xy minus 4y squared. Finally, hope we are together. Let us proceed. Now another type is called squaring a binomial. These are the steps which we do. What you do, simply you square the first term by the second term and double it. Square the first term. Then step 2, multiply the first term by the second term and double it. Then step 3, you square the last term. Hope you can memorize that. We are saying that step 1, do what? Square the first term. Step 2, multiply the first term by the second term and double it. Then step 3, square the last term. For example, here we are saying p plus 2 outer bracket squared. You square the p, square the first term, you get p squared. Then you square what? And then you multiply the first term by the second term and then double. So p multiplied by 2r, then made it double, which gives us 4pr, and then you square the last term. Now 2r in bracket squared gives us 4r squared. So that's how we expand a binomial. Hope we are together. Okay, that's how we square a binomial. Okay, another example here we have 3a minus 4b bracket squared. Now the method we're gonna say 3a bracket squared giving us 9a squared. Then we said multiply the first term times the second term and then double it. Okay, so it's going to be 3 times negative 4b, then doubled, which gives us 3 times negative 4, that's minus 12, which gives us double, like minus 24. Hope we are together. Minus 24ab. Then now square the last term, which gives us minus 4b bracket squared gives us positive 16b squared. Then we are done. So note the second step in these examples is not usually shown. Okay, so this step sometimes we just do it in our head and write the final answer to make our mathematics so interesting. Hope we are together. Let us proceed. Now next here we have difference of two squares. Now in here the two binomials are the same except the sign is one. In one is a plus and the other is a minus. So the outer and inners are then additive inverses of each other. So the answer is only the first squared minus the last squared. I repeat, we're saying that with the difference of two squares, okay, the two binomials are the same except the sign in one is a plus and the other is a minus. So what do? The outer and the inners are then additive inverses. They become additive inverses of each other. So the answer is only going to be the first one, put it now in green. The answer will be what? The first squared minus last squared. That's all. The first term squared minus the last term squared. Now I'm talking about difference of two squares. All these examples of difference of two squares, let me write them for you here. I can have something like this. One of them includes on here. These examples of difference of two squares, I know some people might be confusing them. I can have x squared, okay. I can have x plus y, okay, and then into x plus y. This one is okay. Supposed to be now because already that other one is what? It is a plus or minus here now, so it's gonna be x minus y now, okay, x minus y. Now if you check here, because this is x and y, only difference in the plus and the minus, so it doesn't score difference of two squares. It's gonna be first, like we said, first term squared is gonna be x squared, first term squared x squared, okay, and then minus last term squared, that's y times y squared. So this is my answer, okay. That's how we do it. Another example here, as we can see here, we have 3a minus 2b, 3a plus 2b. So 3a, 3a, 2b, 2b, the difference is minus and plus. So it's going to be first term squared, which gives us 9a squared, then minus last term squared, which gives us what? 4b squared. Okay, hope we are together. What about it? We have 5x minus 7y squared, then 5x plus 7y. You see they are the same except the operation in the brackets, okay. So that be, what is 5x squared? It's going to give us 25x squared. What about 7y brackets? It's going to give us 49y to the power 4. It's going to be first term squared minus last term squared. I hope we are together. Note this now. This is a minus b plus 5, a minus b minus 5. So it's going to be the first term squared is here, then minus last term squared. So this is going to be 25 here. Now this one here, we've seen that we said that it is a binomial, okay. So if I want to expand, I'm going to get what? I'm going to get first term squared, that's going to be a squared. Then we said multiply the first term by the second and then double. So a times minus b, that's minus ab. To make it double becomes minus 2ab. Then plus last term squared gives us plus b squared and minus the 25. Hope we are together. Now multiplying a binomial by a trinomial, here you multiply each term in the binomial by each term in the trinomial and then add like terms, okay. Now here I'm going to have a multiplied by a squared, that's what you see here, and then plus a multiplied by negative a, it's negative a here, again plus a multiplied by 1, that's what you see here. Then now minus 2, because of the minus here, minus 2 multiplied by a squared, that's what you see here. Then minus 2 multiplied by minus a, that's what you see here. And then minus 2 multiplied by positive 1, that's what you see here. Now don't forget that if I'm multiplying a negative times a negative, I must get a positive, né? Okay. What about a positive with a negative? Gives us a negative. So a times a squared gives us a cubed. A times minus a gives us minus a squared. Then a times 1 gives us a. And then minus 2 times a squared gives us minus 2a squared. And then minus 2 times minus a gives us positive 2a. What about minus 2 times positive 1 gives us minus 2? So if you check here, I think I've got some like terms there. Do you see like terms there, guys? Any like terms which you see there? Okay, now if you check properly, we can see that this one it is minus a squared, this is minus 2a squared, so these are like terms. So minus 1 minus 2 gives us minus 3a squared, and then this is a plus 2, it gives us 3a, and then minus 2. This one is of course just a cube, that doesn't have any other like term. Hope we are together. Okay, next here we have p plus q brackets p squared minus pq plus q squared. So we're going to multiply p times p squared gives us p cubed, and then p times minus pq gives us minus p squared q, and then p times q squared gives us pq squared, which you see here, and then q times p squared gives us qp squared. That's what you see here. What about q times minus pq gives us minus pq squared, and then q times q squared gives us positive q power 3. Like terms, do we have them? Check this out. Now here we have, if I check properly, I can see that this one here, this is minus p squared q, check, minus p squared q altogether. What about here? It is positive p squared q. And then I can see, if I now use blue, that this is positive pq squared, and this is negative pq squared. So these two in red, they're going to cancel out. Why? Because they are additive inverses to one another. They give us 0. Likewise here also the one is in the blue, but they also cancel out. So that we get our final answer to be p cubed minus q cubed. So mean that this one here is going to cancel out with this one here, and also this one is going to cancel with this one here as well. And then I'm left with what? I'm left with only p power 3 then plus what? Plus q cubed. This one is called the sum of two cubes that we're going to see in some questions to come ahead. Okay. Alright, meaning that all the time whenever I have something like p to the power 3, okay, multiple plus q to the power 3, okay, it means that this one is the same as the one which is expanded form of p plus q into brackets p squared minus pq plus q squared. This one is called the sum of two what? Two cubes. The sum of two cubes is called sum of two cubes. Hope we are together. Let us look at another example here. We have 3a minus 2b into 9a squared plus 6ab plus 4b squared. Okay. Now, if you check here, we're going to say that 3a multiplied by 9a squared gives us 27a to the power 3. What about 3a multiplied by 6ab gives us 18a squared b. That's what you see here. What about 3a multiplied by 4b squared gives us what? Gives us 12ab squared. And then minus 2b times 9a squared gives us what? Minus 18a squared b. Then minus 2b times positive 6ab gives us minus 12ab squared. What about minus 2b times positive 4b squared gives us what? Minus 8b cubed. Let us check for like terms again. If we check for like terms again, we're going to say that now this is positive 18a squared b cancels with negative 18a squared b. Likewise, the positive 12ab squared will cancel with negative 12ab squared. So when I cancel them, I'm left with what? With a difference of two cubes, which is going to be now 27a power 3 minus 8b power 3. That's the difference of two cubes, as we're going to see in what? In our next example. Maybe before that, let me show something here. You see, this is 27a cubed. I can write it like this. I can write it as like this. Write it as, this is 27 at 3 to the power 3, right? Now this is a to the power 3, okay, then minus, what about 8? I can write it as 2 to the power 3, okay. What about, since now b what? This is b to the power 3. Now because of they all have the same powers of 3, which means I can write it like this as 3a, okay, in brackets like this, then I make it to the power 3, okay, and then now minus 2b, okay, if I bracket it like this, I can also power by what? By 3 still, okay. Now because this is a difference, because this is a difference of two cubes because of the minus. Now this difference of two cubes, it gives me all what you see here on the first line here. That means gives me what? It must give me the 3a minus 2b into 9a squared plus 6ab plus 4b squared. Hope we are together. That was difference of 2 cubes. Let us proceed now. Now another is mixed questions here. Again, we follow body mass. What do we do? Simplify in brackets if possible. Square the binomial using FOIL or binomial by trinomial. All distribution, then is distribution, then you add or subtract like terms. For example, I've got 4x into 4xy minus 16y plus 12 minus 12 minus 2x plus y into x minus y. I want to follow body mass. Body mass means what? Brackets first. Brackets, then off, then division, then multiplication, then addition, and then subtraction. Okay, which means subtraction must be the last one here. This is going to be last one here. So body mass, brackets, of, division, multiplication. So I'm going to open brackets in here. I'm going to say 4x times 4xy giving me what? 16x squared y. Okay, and then what? So with the body mass here, as you see, brackets first. I'll do it with brackets first here. Multiplying these two binomials here. We said multiply the FOIL. That's 2x times x gives us 2x squared. And then 2x times minus y minus 2xy. Then y times x gives us xy. Then y times minus y gives us minus y squared. Okay. Then now multiplication. Multiplication below. You see I have 4x times 4xy giving me 16x squared y, and then 4x multiplied by negative 16y gives me what? Negative 64xy, and then 4x times 12 gives me positive 48x. Now I'm going to open brackets here. Now the negative times a positive gives negative here. What about negative times negative gives me positive here? What about a negative times a positive here gives me a minus? What about a negative times a negative here gives me positive? So now I collect like terms. And like terms, guys, which you see here, if we check it out properly, and like terms, check it properly, and like terms which you see here. If you check here, we have this is okay. This is x squared y. Do we have it anywhere? We don't have. Okay, so just rearrange it. It's going to be negative 2x squared, then plus 16x squared y, then plus 48x. So we have got like terms, we have got the 60xy and this xy here. Are we together? Another xy here. These are like terms, guys. You did not see them. We have this one here, another one here, and another one here. Okay, if you check, this is negative 64 plus 2, that gives us negative 62. Negative 62 minus 1 gives us negative 63, so we get negative 63 xy here. What about the y square? Doesn't have another like term, so we leave the way it is. Okay, hope we are together. And then we have another example here. We have 3 into a squared plus 3a minus 10, then minus 2 into a squared minus 6a plus 9, then plus 9 into a squared minus 4. We're going to distribute again using body mass. 3 times a squared gives us 3a squared, 3 times 3a gives us 9a, 3 times minus 10 gives us minus 30. What about minus 2 times a squared gives us minus 2a squared? What about minus 2 multiplied by negative 6a gives us positive 12a? What about negative 2 multiplied by positive 9 gives us negative 18? Then 2 times a squared gives us 2a squared. 2 times minus 4 gives us minus 8. So like terms, if you check here, the a squared, this is 3a squared minus 2a squared plus 2a squared. So the 2a squares, they cancel. I'm left with 3a squared. Now this 9a plus 12a gives me 21a. That's why it's 21a here. Then negative 30 minus 18 minus 8 gives minus 56. Okay. Yes, that's how we do mixed questions. Okay, hope we are together. Any questions, please? Let us continue here. We have to know how to factorize, this. Okay. Now, factorization is the inverse operation to products. That is, we want to put the brackets back into the sum. Steps, what do? Look for common factor first. Then if a binomial, look for difference of two squares or sum of, or difference of two cubes. Then if a trinomial, check if in the form x squared minus bx plus c. Then factorize that, we're going to see it here. Then if 4 or more terms, group by looking for the patterns first. If there are 4 or more terms, you do what? Group by looking for the patterns first. And then, for example, difference of squares or perfect square trinomial. Then here we are saying don't forget to factorize as far as possible. And remember the terms in brackets can be considered as variable. Okay, now the first one to start with is what we call as the highest common factor, HCF, where we take it out. Now this is the inverse of distribution. For example, they say factorize fully here. You see this is 6y squared plus 12y. Now you know the 6y, I can write it as 6y squared. I can write it as what? As 6y multiplied by y. That is 6y squared. Can be 6y multiplied by what? By y. What about 12y? I can write it as what? As 6y multiplied by what? By 2. So 6y multiplied by 2 gives me 12 what? 12y. So if you can see here, I can see that I have the common factor, which is 6y. So this is our highest common factor, which is 6y. Then here 6y here as well. So because it is common, I'm going to factor it outside brackets. It's going to be now 6y open brackets left with y, which you see here, then plus 2. That's how we do factorize. Are we together? Now check here now. This one is 3a into 2a minus b, then minus a squared into 2a minus b. Now if you are careful, you will see that the 2a minus b is common here, also common here, which means you take it outside as a common bracket. Okay, you take it as what? Common bracket. So it's going to be, this is 2a minus b, then 2a minus b. Okay, so this is 3a and this is a squared. So what do we have? Because there is a here into 2a minus b, and this is a squared into 2a minus b, meaning that there is a into 2a minus b, which is common. So in other words, this a into 2a minus b is common to all of these ones here. It can be found. That means get check from here up to here. It's there. Also from this is a squared, is the same as a times n. So it means there is a, then into what? Into 2a minus b. That's why we take it outside brackets to give us a into 2a minus b. Then left with what? 3 minus a. Hope we are together. Here I have now x into x minus y minus 4 into x minus y bracket squared. Now if you check here again, you can see that the x minus y is here, right? That's one bracket, x minus y. Because of the square here, it means there are going to be two brackets, like having x minus y multiplied by x minus y. So I can take out one of the x minus y outside of the bracket as a common bracket. So it means that in this case, if I do so, if I take out x minus y, I'm going to be left with x only. That's why it is only x here. What about going to be now? Minus 4 into the remaining x minus y. So open bracket, I'm going to get here minus 4x. Now when I multiply negative 4 times negative, I'm going to get positive 4y here. Now these are like terms giving me negative 3x, then plus 4y together with x minus y into minus 3x plus 4y. So this one is going to be my answer. So this one is x minus y into negative 3x plus 4y. If I take out a negative from this bracket and I take a negative one here, I'll be left with now becomes positive 3x minus 4y. So that's our answer. Alright, so that was taking out a highest common factor. Now we have something which is very important, please. Here, understand it is called the sign change. Now change of the sign in bracket to make the factors the same. It's very, very important. Not something that if I've got b plus a, the same as a plus b. But if I've got b minus a, it's not the same as a minus b. Okay, are we together? Let me give you an example here, guys, using numbers that you can see this. Take an example. If I've got something like 6, this is 6 plus 4, okay, is it not 10? It is 10. What about now 4 plus 6? What is 4 plus 6? It is also 10. So 10, 10, which this one is correct. But if I talk about now 6 minus 4, check 6 minus 4. And then what about 4 minus 6? Now if I check here, the 6 minus 4 gives me 2. What about 4 minus 6 gives me negative 2? You see that? So meaning they are different, that's why they are not equal. So 2 is not equal to negative 2. Are we together? So what we do, we introduce what we call as a sign change as follows. Now to make it the same, you see this is b minus a. What we do, we take out a negative 1 and write it as a minus b. Simple like that. Doesn't have to stress you. So this b minus a, it becomes negative 1 into a minus b if we change the sign in brackets. Okay, so example I've got 4a into a minus 2b, then minus 6 into 2b minus a. If you check here, this is a minus 2b, and this is 2b minus a. So they are the same. The difference is in the sign. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out this is a minus 2b, this is 2b minus a. So to make all of them to be a minus 2b, if I take out a negative one here, it's going to be a minus 2. But now that negative times negative 6 makes this positive 6 here. So it's going to be now, this one is still fine here, it's going to be now positive 6. Now you can see now, finally I have a minus 2b, then a minus 2b. It's a common bracket. I can factor it out as what? As a minus 2b, which is here. Okay, actually there is a 2 and a 2 here because this is 3 times 2, this is 2 times 2. So that actually it's going to be 2 into a minus 2b, so which is going to be a common bracket. Left with a 2, this is a 2 here now, that's going to be 2a. What about here? Plus a 3. Hope we are together. That's how we do. Factorize that one there. Okay, let us proceed, guys. Now another way to do factorizing is difference of two squares. Now what do we do here? The method says you square root the first term minus the square root of the second term in one bracket, then square root the first term plus the square root of the second term in the second bracket. So what you do, if you've got a difference of two squares, you square root the what? The first and the last terms. Okay, for example, let's factorize fully here. This is 4a squared minus 64b squared. Now if I check here, I can see that there's a common factor here, which is 4, because 64 is the same as what? The same as 4 times 16. So if I take it out, I'm going to be having a squared minus 16b squared. No matter what is 16, same as 4 what? 4 squared. So meaning that if I have to simplify this, I have here, if I can see that, you see, we have said 4 is a common factor. If I take out that 4, okay, I'm left with a squared here, okay, a squared. Now minus, this is 16b squared. What is 16? 16 is the same as 4 squared. It's going to be now 4 squared here because of the 16, and then with the b squared, okay. Now because all of these have got a square, I can write them as 4 into a squared minus 4b bracket squared. Now if you check here, I have difference of two squares. I have difference of two squares here, so I can say that okay. Now if you check here, I said that we've got this is a squared minus 4b squared, because this term was 16b squared. Okay. Now this is a difference of two squares. So we said when you simplify, it's gonna give you what? It's gonna give you you take the square root of each. Square root of a squared is gonna give us a. And square root of 4b squared is gonna give us 4b. It's gonna be now 4 into the square root of that one there. Yes, we are saying that to factorize this one here, what we do now, this time here we square root it. Okay. By the way, there is a 4. There is this 4 here. We write the 4. Okay. Okay. So square root of a squared gives us a. Okay. Square root of 4b squared gives us 4b. So we can say minus 4b. What about here? It's going to be now a plus 4b. A plus 4b. That's our answer there. That's how I got this answer here, guys. Okay, hope we are together now. And another one here we have x squared into x minus k plus y squared into k minus x. Okay, so here because it's x minus k and this is k minus x, I'm going to have a sign change again. I'm going to have a sign change. So this is x minus k, this is k minus x. So to make it the same as here, we said you take out a -1. Now -1 times +1 gives us negative y squared. Let's go to the negative y squared here. I'm going to have what? X minus k again. So now because it's common here and here, I'm going to factor it out now as a bracket, as a common bracket. So that's what I put here. It's going to be x minus k here. Okay. Now left with x squared minus y squared. Left with what? X squared minus y squared. Another difference of two squares again. So square root of x squared gives me x. Square root of y squared gives me y. And it's going to be now x minus k into x minus y, then x plus y. So this is my final answer here. Okay, then another example here. We have a minus b bracket squared minus 2a plus b bracket squared. If you check here, this is, if I expand this one here, what do you see here? Now this because of the square, because of the square, I am going to get the square root of each. Okay, so square root of a minus b bracket squared gives me, it is a minus b altogether. What about square root of 2a plus b bracket squared gives us what? Gives us 2a plus b. Okay, so I write it in one of the brackets, and then the other bracket also, but with a different sign. This is a minus. I'm going to put a plus here. Okay, are we together? Then from here now I can simplify within the brackets here. Now minus 1 times 2a gives minus 2a. Minus 1 times b gives minus b. So now a minus 2a gives me minus a. Minus b gives me minus 2b. What about here? Check now. I'm gonna have here a minus b, then plus 2a plus b. Now a plus 2a gives me 3a. Minus b plus b gives me 0, so there will be 3a left here. So what's my answer? Because -1 is going to be negative 3a into a plus 2b to be my final answer. Okay, now sometimes if we have more than 3 terms, we use what we call as grouping. Okay, that's number 4. Grouping, used if for all more terms. First you group them, then do as common factor, then groups can be due to HCF, then use the difference of two squares or perfect square binomial. For example, let's say here factorize fully. We have 9D plus BC minus BD minus 9C. Okay, if you check here, I have what? This is 9D plus BC minus BD, then minus 9C. If I check here, this is 9D, this is 9C, that is a common factor. Okay, if I check here BD, common factor is 9. If I check here BC and BD, common factor is B, so I can group this 9D with 9C together, and then I have this plus BC, then minus BD. Now if I take out a common factor, it's going to be 9 into D minus C. What about here? It's going to be take out a B, it's going to be B into C minus D. Now this D minus C, this is C minus D. Now to make the C minus D to be the same as D minus C, I take out a negative one like we said. So that negative 1 times B gives us negative B. So now it is 9 into D minus C minus B into D minus C. So D minus C is a common bracket, take it outside there. I'll be left with 9 minus B. This is my answer, going to be D minus C into 9 minus B. Hope we are together. Let us proceed. This is now 2A minus 3B plus 4A squared minus 9B squared. Now if you check here, this 2A and minus 3B, what about it? This is 4A squared minus 9B squared. Okay, so this is a difference of two squares. Okay, can it form difference of two squares? This is 4A squared, this is 9B squared. Same as saying 4. Okay, now this one here, I beg your pardon guys, let me write it properly like this. It will be 2A bracket squared. Okay, sorry for that mistake here. It must have been like this. You see, this is 4A squared, né? It should have been 2A. Okay, bracket squared. What about 9B squared minus 3B bracket squared, 3B bracket squared. Okay, now this is the difference of two squares, which gives us 2A minus 3B into 2A plus 3B, like we said. Okay, so here we have got 2A minus 3B. Also we have what? 2A. Now this one is 2A minus 3B as well, so it's a common bracket, né? So I take it out, this common bracket, also common here. I take it out here as 2A minus 3B. Then I'm left with 1 for this one here. Then plus what? Plus 2A plus 3B. So that's my answer there. Okay, another one. Here we have 25A squared minus P squared minus 12PQ minus 36Q squared. Now if I check here, this is 25A squared minus, now check from here, if I take out a negative one here, I'm going to have minus P squared plus 12PQ plus 36Q squared. Now this one's here in the bracket, they make a perfect square, which is P plus 6Q bracket squared. Okay, now this one gives us this one here, that's P plus 6Q bracket squared. Now because of difference of two squares, now this is 25 times 5 squared, I'm going to say 5A squared minus this one here, it's going to give us now 5A plus minus the bracket into 5A plus the bracket again, which is P plus 6Q. Open brackets, now we're going to have what's going to be now 5A minus P minus 6Q. What about it's going to be now 5A plus P plus 6Q. Hope we are still together. All right. Then that was about grouping. It was about what? Grouping. Now the most important for learn the last one is about trinomials. Trinomials. Steps here. The steps we need, first of all, put in standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Then multiply the coefficient of the first and the third term, that is a times c. Then find the factors of answers in here, that if you add, you get positive c. If you subtract, you get negative c. And then to get b. Alright. I repeat, we're saying first of all write it in standard form as ax squared plus bx plus c. Then multiply the a times c. Are we together? That is the coefficients. Multiply the coefficient of a, the first term, then times the c. Are we together? Then from there, then you find the factors of the answers. That means that is AC of those answers. So that when you do what, that if such that if c is a positive, or subtract if c is what is a negative to get b. So depending on this c here, if the c is positive or if the c is minus to get the b, the middle term. I think we need an example to explain this properly. Now here they say write the middle term split into outers and the inners, then factorize by grouping. Okay, here we go. Take an example of 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. Okay, let's do it here. We have 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. Let's do it together here. We have what? 3x squared plus 7x and then plus 2. First of all, we said multiply what? The coefficient. That means 3 times 2 to give us what? 6. So 3 times 2 gives us 6. Right together gives us 6. Now from there, we are going to use this 6 here. 3 times 2 is 6. Now we're going to use this 6 here to give us two numbers. When you multiply to get the factors of 6, when you multiply them, you get 6. When you add them, you get 7. Which numbers are those? That is going to be 1 and 6, because 1 multiplied by 6 gives us 6, and 1 plus 6 gives us 7. Okay. Now where there is 7x, I'm going to put there 1x plus 6x, like this. It's going to be now 3x squared. Okay, 3x squared. Then plus 1x. Okay. What about then plus 6x? Okay. And then now plus 2. Are we together? Plus 2. Then from here now, I'm gonna group here. Check here. What is common here and here is what, guys? It is x. Okay. I'm gonna say x. Left with what? Left with a. Left with 3x here. Then plus 1. Okay. What is common here now? It is 2. Can I say plus 2 into, what about going to begin 3x plus 1? Now I'm going to take out 3x plus 1 as a common group. I factor it out. If I do so, hello. Okay, we are saying here that the 3x plus 1 is a common bracket, so it's going to be 3x plus 1. Now left here with only x, you see that x there, then plus 2. So this is our answer. That's our answer. Okay. Now another example here which we have is 6a squared minus 17ab plus 12b squared. Now if you check here, we are going to first of all multiply a times c. That means 6 times 12. Okay, which gives us 72. Then our c is a positive 12, so we need two factors. Okay, and then when we add them, we should get the middle term, which is 17. Okay, now those factors of 17 which 8 will give us 17 are going to be what? They're going to be 9 and 8. So this 9 plus 8 giving us 17. So instead of having negative 17 AB, now because of the middle term being negative, both terms are going to be negative, because negative 9 times negative 8 gives us positive 72. Okay, so here in this particular case, because of the positive middle term, both terms were positive, because positive 1 plus positive 6 gives us positive 7. Okay, then in here we are going to have now to write this minus 17ab, write it as what? We're going to write it as minus 9ab minus 8ab. Now we do grouping again here. What is common here and here, guys? It is 3a, left with 2a, minus 3b. What about what's common here and here? It's going to be 4b. You take out minus 4b, be left with 2a minus 3b. Now the 2a minus 3b is a common bracket. We take it outside bracket. We're going to be left with what here? 3a, which you see here, then minus this 4b. Okay, that's our answer as well there. Then another one here. Now if you check this time here, now our c is a negative, né? So if you multiply 3 times negative 6, we get what? We get 18. Okay, and then our c is a negative again, negative 6. So we're gonna get a negative factor. Right together, we're gonna get what? A negative factor. So in this particular case, note that 3 times 6 is 18. Look for two numbers, multiply, get 18. But when you add them, get the middle term, which is 7. That is positive 7. So I have 9 and 2. Okay, I have 9 and 2. But then, because this is minus and this is positive, I'm going to have the 9 to be positive. That's the bigger factor. And then the 2 to be negative, because 2 positive 9 minus 2 gives me 7. Okay, so the biggest factor gets the middle term sign. This is very, very important. Please and please always remember that the biggest factor gets what? Gets the middle term sign. Okay, so because this is a positive, so, and because of the negative here, there are gonna be two factors, né? One must be positive, the other must be negative, right? But the one to be positive, because of this positive here, should be on the biggest factor. So here, because I'm saving a 9 and a 2, and 9 being bigger than 2, 9 becomes a positive 9, okay? So I'm going to write it as 3p squared plus 9p minus 2p minus 6. So now, take out a common factor, which is 3p here. What about here? Take out a minus 2. It's going to be p plus 3, p plus 3. So p plus 3 is a common factor, common bracket. I take it out still, the p plus 3. When here p plus 3, when I factor it out, we're left with the 3p minus 2. 3p minus what? Minus 2. So this is a mistake here. It should be 3p minus 2. 3p minus 2. I beg your pardon, guys. Sorry about this. This should be, okay, this is, yes, this is p plus 3 outside brackets. Okay, p plus 3 outside brackets, meaning that here, if I have the p plus 3, and then into here what? 3p, that 3p here. Now look at the sign here, this is minus 2, it must be minus 2 here. Not plus 2, né? That's why it's not correct, okay? Alright, so this is our answer here. Then lastly, another example here which we have is to do with 2x squared minus 6x minus 36. Now this time, if you check here, there is a 2 everywhere. You can factor it out. Then left with the x squared minus 3x minus 18. So now, because the coefficient here is 1, and this negative 18, we're going to get two factors, multiply, give us 18. But when you add, get negative 3. Now note that the 18 has got a negative sign here. So the two factors plus and minus, we are going to have those factors going to be 6 and 3. Now 6 times 3 is 18. What about now? We're actually going to take a negative 6 and positive 3. Now we said the biggest factor gets a middle term, né? So 6 is bigger than 3. So that's why it's going to be negative 6 here, then positive 3. So again, we do the same thing here. Again, using grouping, what is common here is going to be x here, left with the x minus 6. What about it's going to be 3, left with x minus 6. It's going to be now 2 into x minus 6, then into x plus the 3. Another mistake here. I beg your pardon again, guys. Sorry. I'm saying it's going to be now, it's going to be 2, okay, open brackets, okay, into this x minus 6, then into x plus 3, yeah, that's our answer here. Another one is what we call as the perfect square trinomial. Now here, if you check here, this is 4m squared minus 12mn plus 9n squared. Now this one here, it is, if you check what I have here, the square root of 4m squared is 2m. What about square root of 9n squared? It's going to be 3n. Okay, and then squared here. So mean that this one came from this one, it came from this. So this is the answer for factorizing this one here. Okay, so because we said if you expand, we said if you take the first term squared, remember that we said the first term squared is going to be what's 2m squared gives us 4m squared, then multiply the first and second term, then double. So 2m times negative 3n gives us negative 6mn, double negative 6mn gives us minus 12mn, then plus last term squared gives us what? 9n squared. So this is our answer here. The same thing happens here now, so with the plus here. This time we have now 49p power 4 and then plus 84p squared plus 36. It came from 7p squared plus 6 bracket squared. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Now please try the questions out here. Try out these questions here. Sorry. Try out these questions here. Okay. Try these questions out here. These ones here. Try them out. Okay. When you are done, try this one out as well. And then try this out as well. And this as well. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you again in my next video. My name once again is Kamala. I'm a tutor and educator for mathematics and physical science grades 10 to 12. Bye bye, take care.